So peace to people, the people out there, whoever come across this video. So I'm about to help my son do his some of his homework. He's a freshman in St. James High School in South Carolina, and this is what we're talking about when we say that our children are being brainwashed, just like we were. See, but the difference is now we have adults like me, parents like me, who aren't going to allow our children to be brainwashed. See, in order to get a grade at school or some kind of some kind of good grade, some kind of satisfactory grade, you have to have some kind of um you have to acquiesce to their brainwashing. Okay, so they want to convince you that this guy, I don't know if this is the Reading Rainbow guy, but they want to convince you that this guy in this movie Roots, which is from a book, I believe, Alex Haley, which is under fiction, which is entertainment. They want you to believe that they want my children, they wanted us to believe that this was real, that this happened. Okay. This is how you convince, see, at an early age, if you convince people that they're African slaves, then they have no question of, they have no they have no reason to question it, right? Unless you have parents who know better, tell them better. But now you're creating a conflict of interest, so that's why you need the parents to be ignorant too. So at the point when they got us into school, into their schools, and they started making it illegal and threatening our ancestors, don't say that you're Indian, don't say that you're this, don't say that you're that, or we're gonna kill you, we're gonna hang you, etc., 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 right? We're gonna find ways to lock you up and ruin your life, right? Now, when you have people doing that, and then at the same time you got them. See, they're afraid to say they're Indian. See, they don't. It's become a tradition that they have passed down to not say that they who they are, right? And so now you got the children going to these public schools being taught, basically the fly being taught by the spider, and they're telling them this is their ancestors right here. This is what their ancestors went through, right? But this right here is a joke, okay? And the joke's on you if you let your children be brainwashed by this. No longer are we doing this. This is the joke, okay? Um, it shows a fake person in a fake scenario, okay? Now the movie is called Roots, and the book is called Roots because it was cutting off our roots. See, they're cutting off our roots from who we actually were. But see, here's the kicker, right? If you are being taught now that you were an African slave. Now they do this by default. If you got dark skin or brown skin or a certain kind of hair texture, they teach you. See, the way they teach you is by default. It's like if you don't know any better, then that's what you'll just think. So automatically you associate yourself with them because you have a similar skin complexion, and then the term black people and African American is a term thrown about on all dark skin colored people, right? All darker toned people, um, or brown skin tone type people is thrown on them, right? And if you don't know any American history, then you can't say, hey, this is inaccurate. This is actually extremely inaccurate and intellectually dishonest and educationally dishonest. You can't say that because you know no better. But you're teaching people that these so-called African slaves had history and their language and their spiritual systems and everything beat out of them, right? Only to later teach them that they're African. So you don't want them to know anything about Africa or Africa anything, right? But then you're teaching them that they're from Africa. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Okay. So, but what makes more sense and what is the truth is that you took Indians, you took Amerindians, Indians, okay, you took people from here that were here when you got here, and you made them change their names. You made them, and I'm not saying you made them, like you didn't make every single person didn't do that. But guess what, when you create an environment in a society where the social order is one way, then people kind of understand and know what it is when they leave their house, when they leave their living quarters, when they leave their spaces where they dwell with their family and friends and etc. When they leave and they go out into that world, people tend to get a little bit distracted by social views, and a lot of things were going on. So resources is being moved around, resources is being withheld from people if they don't acquiesce to what you want them to do it to. So basically, you better say your name is John Smith, or Because if you say, because if you know, let us know, because we trying to take this land, and we can't be reminded that you people are the actual stewards of this land and the landowners. So you better change your name to something different, right? Otherwise, we're gonna give you a hard time. Okay, your children might come up missing, etc., etc., etc. You move these people around, you and then enslave these people. See, when they teaching you about this so-called African slavery, which is BS, then they're not at the same time teaching you that the indigenous people of America that look like Africans, according to a lot of historians, in some, in some ways, many ways, they weren't light skinned. They weren't, and when I say light skin, I mean pale skin. They weren't pale skin with straight hair. They weren't Asians. That didn't come till later. Those people didn't come till later. But anyway, this is what they're trying to make us teach our children, or they're teaching our children. See, but this is why you got to be involved in what your children are learning. And I understand now why my son doesn't want to have nothing to do with this, because he knows it's BS. But in order to get his good grade, now he has to do this. So I'm gonna do it with him, and we're gonna write, and we're gonna let it be known that this is not true, and that in no way, shape, or form will my son believe these things that they're trying to teach him. So peace.